And welcome back to part 6 of A Hat in Time. This time we're going to head into Subcon Forest, and I will not let that time pun go. We have to enter Subcon Forest because to advance with Chapter 2, we need an upgrade that we don't get until we do a certain distance into Chapter 3. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do a few missions in Chapter 3 for this part, and then on the next part, go back and finish up Chapter 2. Because thankfully we can finish it up once we get the upgrade from one of these levels. But Subcon Forest, great characters, great level ideas, map, no, I don't enjoy this map. I find it a bit too maze-like and a bit easy to lose your bearings. There's not really much to do with like easy to identify areas or things like that. But the first thing I've noticed is that you can finally get the badge pin when you enter World 3, so you can now have a third badge, which is very neat and very handy because one of the missions later on will require us to do so. But he doesn't sell the one I want. You get it through the plot, the next badge I want on. Right, if you can actually climb all the way up this, and if you take it all the way up to the top, there's a neat little reward for... Hello? Get up. Hat kid. Hello? What the... Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, I'm cutting. Anyway, as I was saying, if you climb this to the top, not only is there a trophy in it for you, but there is, I believe, either a relic or a rift token, but there is a reward for reaching the very top. But yes, yeah, Subcon Forest, I really like the idea of this area, I just don't like the map. I like the fact it's a horror area, because I like horror areas in platformy games, because you can usually be quite experimental with how they handle it. And anything that encourages experimentation, I'm always down for. And oh, that was a bit tight platforming. I'm not as good with 3D platforming as I am 2D platforming, I'm sorry. The platforming games I grew up with, like Sonic the Hedgehog, and well, yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog really. I didn't really play many other platformers because Sonic was all I needed. I got very just and acute with my aim when it comes to 2D platforming, but 3D platforming I've always been a little bit more iffy with. I'm a lot better than I used to be, but that's thanks to SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom because of how much I played that growing up. I got a lot better than I was before, but up here there is a relic, so it's a good thing we came up here. If you do the double jump just before you hit the ground, you don't have to worry about full damage anyway. And this flame wall is blocking us off from going to certain areas. That'll be a gimmick we'll get to when we get to it. But anyway, we need to follow this being that seems to be running away from us. And when you finally think you got to him, and this happens. Right. No matter what you do, if you mash square, you'll do this. And try and break through it. But no matter how many times you mash it, you physically cannot break through. It's a waste of time. Yep, because it's a set scripted sequence of you've been caught and you're not escaping this. No, it's not a death state, it's just introducing the main gimmick of Chapter 3. So you have to let yourself get caught here. Meet the Snatcher. I'm going to shut up for this because he's brilliant. Subcon Valley, Murder Spirits, Clean Subcon Well. You'll be Act 1 and Act 2 will be available to us. They'll keep our soul hostage, but keep anything you find on the way. Alright, fine, we'll fucking sign it. If you refuse to sign it, he kills you, so you have to anyway. I like the Snatcher calls it the start menu, like he knows what it truly is called. Not any of that, oh, options menu. It's rubbish. It is a start button. Like, he knows it's how it should be. Anyway, our objective is to find Subcon Valley, but over here you can get introduced to the fact that there are spirits lingering around that will possess these fruit if you go near them, and make them detonate after a set amount of time. Having both of them detonate will make this happen so we can get in and get a new pair of yarn, the Dweller Mask. The Dweller Mask allows us to make certain visible walls visible, or physical is probably the better word to use to describe it, or make other physical walls no longer physical, so you can make yourself platforms or make walls disappear. It's a handy ability, and there's a lot of points in the first two worlds where you might have noticed see-through blocks that we phase through when we go to them. That's what we mean. You can now go back and make them physical if you want to traverse across them. But now we're in Subcon Valley. Or village, sorry, not valley. Our objective is to kill the spirits, and it says murder, he's not even being subtle about it. And to do that, you need to find these paintings. I'll open them up and start the scene, like if you find any along the way. But I want to talk to them first, so I just want to look around as well. You can see the shadow paths it's showing you where the paintings are. When you get near, our Snatcher will come back and say hi. Oh, I love this Snatcher. And he's also he's my favourite character in this game, but he's got like the best voice for it. Like, I think I can't remember the guy who voiced him. Like, everyone seems to know him though. I watched like Ray's, if you like, Brown Man stream on it, and he seemed to know him, but I just can't remember the guy's name, and I feel so bad about it. I'll point it out when we get when we beat the game. I'll point it out in the credits or something. But I just Well, anyway, these fox fire spirit things, like literal fire foxes. I get it. They are the ones causing the flame walls that are stopping us from exploring certain parts of the forest. We only have to, in just like the scripting of the plot, have to do this one. But there are two others around that, if you find all their paintings for and burn up, allows you to get access to other parts of the forest, which you want to do if you want to get access to the time wrist. Which is annoying, so you have to hunt it down. There's going to be a lot of cutting, but if you talk to them, they want to die. They want you to throw the paintings into the fire. Like, these guys are... If this isn't a sign of things to come, with this world being a bit too on the line of what's kid-friendly and what's not, you wait until we get to Vanessa's Manor. I don't know if we'll tackle Vanessa's Manor this part. It depends how much time we have as we go through it. Oh, bye Mafia dude. But, this world has its moments. Most of it's alright, but there's a few moments where you sit there and go, hang on, this is a game that kids can play? This is a bit much. Vanessa's Manor being the ultimate extreme, that one's ridiculous. Because that is not child-friendly in the slightest. That's just straight up horrifying. Right, that's the third. Oh, I want to get in here as well, because there's something in there. I think it's yarn, but... If you find a fruit, now you just got to get close enough to a spirit that will want to possess it, like this one over here. Oh, it landed on the lantern. What's in here? Oh, another relic. I think that's our third cow, so we might be able to make that one now. Because you need 3 cows for the relic. So I think we've got it, because it's a UFO possessing it's not possessing, abducting 3 cows, so I think the right word. Right, where's the... I'm looking for a fruit to try and get over that fence, because I remember there's not a fruit in it. You have to find one outside and launch it over. Oh, I'll just take this one. And avoid him. The music picked up when we picked this up, because it knows it's going to be explosive. But you just throw it over and you get it in. And you'll have just enough time to get it quite safely and get an extra yarn ball, because we need to collect some, because we only need 1 more hat to make. But that one requires a lot of yarn, so we need to collect every one we find. And who knows, if we're lucky we'll have enough by the time we get there. Thankfully the spirits won't try and possess the paintings and make that hurdle for you. You've only got to carry them over and throw them in the fire. And they will thank us for letting them die. Become one with the fire. I heard that. That kid. And there we go. And that's the end of this act. So the next act will be clearing out Subcon Well. And this is where the Snatcher will believe that we tortured them, not realizing we just did what they wanted. And I think he'll give us the option to choose a new contract as well, because that's how you get more missions full stop in this level. You have to assign new contracts. And this one and the first one he gives you for free, but the other two you have to actually find and let yourself get traps to do. And I know where one of the traps is, because it's on the way to Vanessa's Manor when we go to do that mission. The other one we have to explore. We have to destroy some of the fire spirits to get access to more of the map, and I think it's somewhere near there. Keyword being, I think. I don't know this map that well. I know about half of it quite well, and the other half's a mystery to me. And the other half is the other half where all the time rifts are. So it's going to be a lot of editing for me, just exploring and cutting out wasted dead time of me running around like a headless chicken, not knowing where to go. Right, what missions do we have here? I think it's random what ones will pop up, but if he has Vanessa's Manor, I will be signing that one. Yeah, he fucking does. Let's see what the other one is. Oh yeah, that one's boring. Yeah, no. We'll do that one I want to do last, because it's boring as hell. Yeah, we'll do the Vanessa Manor. Go find out what's in the manor. That mission is the reason why I think this chapter's not safe for kids at all. That mission is ridiculously creepy. Like, seriously. If you remember from my Outlast playthrough many moons ago, I didn't find that game that scary. I found some of the atmosphere quite nice and some of the jumps are well handled, but a lot of it I found just kind of meh and not that scary. But this mansion caught me off guard really bad when I first went into it and made me jump like a maniac, because it's just so well done horror-wise and getting under your skin and just freaking you the fuck out. I found it scarier than Outlast 2. But not that I was saying much. Outlast 2 wanted to focus more on atmosphere, which is fair enough. Atmospherical horror is a dying art, unfortunately, but there wasn't enough execution at the end of that atmosphere, so it kind of felt bland. But anyway, that's about Outlast. Let's talk about the horror location in a kids game. But we are going to be heading back in, because there's something else I want to get. Right. The next mission we're going to do is not going to be Vanessa's Manor. Dun dun. Oh, so we've got a lot of missions to do before that fills up. But we're going to do the Subcon Well. This is the mission I want to, you need to do, but I want to do because I enjoy it anyway, to get access to the rest of Chapter 2. Because, as you can see in the picture, we get a hook shot. Well, it's a grappling hook, but I'm calling it a hook shot because it's essentially how it works. And that grappling hook will allow us to do a lot more in the game. And you might have noticed a few of the floating hooks scattered about the first two worlds that we couldn't do anything with. Or that I just basically ignored. Right, we have to traverse through here to get there easily. And here's another fire bit that I was on about here. Let's see how much of it we can get done. It carries over between levels, so if you don't get them all and leave and like exit the game or whatever and then come back at another time, you'll still have as many burnt down as you did before. So if I can't get them all for one, it doesn't matter as long as I can make a dent. Also, this like swamp slows you down, so you can't get into it. And I think the third one's above us. Yeah, it is. And we can't get it until we have the grappling hook. Yeah, because I don't see another way up. And I'm not going to linger, I'll just keep moving. Yeah, that noose there, you can hook off the noose. Essentially, when you're in the water, you slow down and these ghostly hands will come out. You spend too much time in the swamp, they pull you under and it's an instant kill. Now we can actually use the Dweller's Mask, and we can show you that we can make this physical. It takes a bit to recharge though. There is a badge you can get that reduces the charge time, but I've never found the charge time long enough to justify needing to buy it. But if you want it, or if you want it to recover quick, go for it. But alright, here's your Subcon Well. Let's drop down. I believe it will give us another load screen. Yep. So now it's going to load the area. There is a door behind us, but don't worry about that yet. Just press on forward and... Oh! I forgot about this. That is a relic, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Right, that's the box for the crayons that we've occasionally spotted. Because we brought the red one from the Mafia guy back in World 1. We're back in Mafia City. And I don't know off the top of my head, I can't remember if we've collected more. So I think there's one in this world as well that wraps it up. But the crayons you want to collect, because that's for the World 4 special time rift. Or the purple one. But we break this open, and there's a treasure chest waiting for us. With a quite cool design. Open it, we get the hook shot badge. Oh, it is a hook shot, I was right. And it simply works as hold square when near something you could hook onto, and you'll hook off it. I believe you have to be into the air before it will let you do it, but it's very free-flowing and very like abusable. You'll get used to it very quickly, as you saw there. It's not hard to do in the slightest, just go for it. And it actually adds quite nicely to our movement abilities of how easy it is to get around. On the other side of here is the path to probably the easiest optional trophy in the game. When you pull this hook, it'll pull the plug, so the Subcon well can be a well again and water will come in. The trophy is to, once you start, once you get up here, never touch the water again. But the platforming challenge, I'm telling you now, is not hard in the slightest. You don't have to worry about hitting the water, you won't. There's no challenge here. And if you fall to a lower level, you're more likely to hit another platform than you are have struggle here. And the water that's flowing through the pipes doesn't count, so even though I just went straight through it, it won't count for the trophy if you're following along. Careful of these guys, because these guys do have a bigger range than you do, and will hit you before you can hit them. Let's keep going. Right, we want this to burst us up so we can get over here. And get our rift token on the way up. And so that we could click onto this and then go back on ourselves and click off it again with the hook shot. That's what I like. It's so free flowing and so loose. It isn't strict at all. You could just have fun with it. Up here you do have to jump with an item, which your jump's heavily stinted. But as soon as this blows up, the trophy would pop for you if you haven't got it. Because this scripted bit will happen where you get blasted out by the water. Well, so that's it. And let's say if you're following along, you've just got yourself a very easy trophy. None of the trophies are particularly difficult in this game, but that one's just a joke. I'm surprised that they put it in, to be honest. Especially because there's some parts where you'd think there would be a trophy for it and there aren't. Like, to give an example, the lava level on Mafia City. Doing all of that without touching the lava doesn't get you anything, when that one could actually be quite challenging because of how spaced out and how time consuming the mission is. You might find yourself getting caught. But, yeah. There is a level that involves lava that there is a trophy linked to, so maybe they just thought it might be a bit redundant having 2 lava-based trophies, but still. But yeah, that's the end of that, and what time are we on? Okay, we're just on 18 minutes, because I finally did the smart thing and got a watch to keep an eye on how long the videos are going. I know, right? Instead of just guessing and hoping. But this is a healthy length, so I think I'm going to call it here, and next time we're going to head back into Chapter 2 and start trying to wrap up what it is. So, yeah, I don't like the Dweller Mask just as a last little thing before we go. I think the Dweller Mask is such a cool little thing. But anyway, next time we're going to be heading back into Chapter 2 and wrapping up what we can there, and maybe finishing it off, depends how much long it takes. But until then, you take care.